simplify each of the expressions. A, the square of 2x minus radical y, where x equals 2 and y equals 3. The first thing to do here is to replace x with 2 and replace y with 3. So this gives us 2 times 2 minus the square root of 3, all squared. Let's simplify the inside a little bit more. This becomes 4 minus radical 3 squared. When you see square, this means multiply the quantity by itself. So this is the same as 4 minus radical 3 times itself, times 4 minus radical 3. Occasionally people will make the mistake of replacing one of these signs with a positive. Remember, this is 2 copies of 4 subtract radical 3. A subtraction needs to be in both of these. Now from here we're going to distribute. So we take this 4, distribute to both terms. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times negative radical 3 is minus 4 radical 3. Then we distribute the negative radical 3 to both terms. Negative radical 3 times 4 is minus 4 radical 3. And then negative radical 3 times negative radical 3 is positive radical 9. Next up, we can combine like terms. So I see this minus 4 radical 3 minus 4 radical 3 can be combined to give us minus 8 radical 3. 16 is an integer. There are no other integers here yet, so we just leave that. Now 9 is a perfect square. The square root of 9 is 3. So we can do one more round of simplification in that 16 and 3 are like terms. So we combine them and we get 19 minus 8 radical 3. B, 5 plus radical 13 times 5 minus radical 13. This one is already written out in a convenient manner, so we can just distribute. We distribute 5 to both terms, so 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times negative radical 13 is minus 5 radical 13. Now the 5 is done. Radical 13 will distribute to both terms. Radical 13 times 5 is positive 5 radical 13. And then radical 13 times negative radical 13 is negative radical 169. As in the previous problem, we can combine like terms. So minus 5 radical 3 plus 5 radical 3, those are equal and opposites, so they're going to cancel out. We now have 25, which stays, minus 169 is a perfect square. It's the square root of 169 is 13. Now we can combine like terms here. We've got 25 minus 13 is 12. Part C, 3 minus 4i squared. This square, remember, means to multiply this quantity by itself. So this we can write as 3 minus 4i times 3 minus 4i. Make sure, as before, whatever sign is in the middle here has to be in the middle of both of these quantities. Now we distribute. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative 4i is minus 12i. Now we distribute the minus 4i to both terms. So negative 4i times 3 is negative 12i. Negative 4i times negative 4i, negative times negative is positive. 4 times 4 is 16. And I times I is I squared. Let's go and combine like terms. So minus 12i, we combine those, we get minus 24i. This 9 in the front will just stay. Now this back term, remember, I squared is negative 1. So negative 1 times positive 16 is negative 16. Then finally we can combine like terms with the whole numbers. 9 minus 16 is negative 7 minus 24i. Part D, 7 over 5 plus 2i. I see we have 2 terms in the denominator, so just like with radicals, we need to multiply this by its conjugate. We're going to multiply numerator and denominator both by 5 minus 2i. When we distribute through on top, 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times minus 2i is minus 14i. Now we distribute through the denominator. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times negative 2i is negative 10i. Then we distribute 2i to both terms. So 2i times 5 is positive 10i. Positive 2i times negative 2i is negative 4i squared. We combine like terms, so negative 10i and positive 10i will cancel. And then note that I squared is negative 1. So this becomes 35 minus 14i over 25. Now we have subtract 4 times negative 1. So negative times negative is positive 4. So we combine the like terms in the denominator. We've got 35 minus 14i over 29. And then finally, we're going to write this in standard form. We're going to split this up into two separate fractions. 35 over 29 minus 14 over 29i.